Okay. Problem with this, I was originally going to just make this a video, but I started recording, and I was like, yeah, I had no script for this. I had no script, and so I was like, okay, I'm making this video. Um, I'm making a video about a PvZ2 tier list. I have no script, so it's going to be a lot of rambling. And I'm like, okay, I might as well just ramble in front of a bunch of people live. So, yeah, might as well just ramble in front of a bunch of people live. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to... Is there a way to, like, make a... I think... Methinks... I need, like... a massive white area so I can make room. Okay, white.png. Put this in OBS. Image 9, image file, white. And let me go back up on the thing while people are joining the stream. Hello, WETJ47. Congratulations on 400 subscribers. Guys, you should go subscribe to WETJ47. Okay, so if I move this over, I will have room to put a chat, I believe. Yeah, go subscribe to WETJ47. Okay, so I wanna start by saying a couple things. Actually, I'm gonna make this a pinned message. 1, I will not be ranking all premium plants. I will only rank the ones that I have used. 2, I will be basing all of my opinions on level 1 and adventure. 3, what's my third rule? My opinion is objectively true. Always. Those are my rules. Or that's not my rules, that's just the things I'm going to go over. Anyways. Actually, let me make this a bit smaller. Because I want to have room for chat. Never mind, you can see my top. How do I do this without... I don't have too much time, really, to do something. I'm going to try to make it work the time I have. That should be... This should be enough room for chat. I think. Let me check what I used over here for chat. Let me just copy this entire thing. Copy. Paste. Okay, I gotta... Anyways, while this is going on, if you guys have any like recommendations for music to play... Actually, no, I won't take what you guys want to... No. I'm not going to put music in here, so play your own music, I guess. Oh, you guys can't see that then. 300, 360, and I'm just going to make it really long. You guys will be in the corner. No, I'll actually make it, what, 10, 100, 1,000? Okay. So, hello guys. We're making a PvZ2 tier list. And it's all going to be my opinion. It's not going to be yours. So really, I'm the one making the... I'm going to be making the tier list, not you. Okay. Let's start this off very simple. I lost the tab. Give me a second. Pea shooter. That's... Why the... Why... Okay. Pea shooter is D tier. Or low C tier. It's either D tier or C tier. It's one of these two. It's not a bad plant, but there's just so many better options. There's so many things that outclass it. My opinion does not matter. Yeah. It's not B tier. Did you ever beat Big Wave VJ3 with only Pea shooter? No. E rank, I'm not having E rank because E is just not a real thing. I don't know why people put E on tier lists. It's just not real. Yeah, I agree with Imperial. It's low C or high D. I'll put it in C for now. Sunflower, easy A tier. Walnut. Walnut's a very underrated plant. I think it's very deserving of A tier. For what it does its job very well. Yeah, I might put like slow mode on the chat or something. Just in case. Can I put slow mode on now? How do I put slow mode on the chat? I don't really care actually. Outclass later on super hard. Yeah, that's why I'm putting Walnut in A. Potato Mine is the best tutorial plant. It is A tier. It is an insta-kill plant. It deserves A tier. For 25 sun. It's a pretty basic. Yeah, A tier. Cabbage Pult, good contender for worst plant in the game. Actually, I think if Cabbage Pult's F, I have Pea Shooter D. Because Cabbage Pult is just an objectively worse Pea Shooter. Cabbage is not better than Pea Shooter. It is statistically worse. It does more damage than Pea Shooter, but it has a slower fire rate. Because people say, let me put text up here to demonstrate. Oh shit, it's already 4:44, only like 50 minutes. Cabbage Pult, that's really big. Cabbage, okay, Pea Shooter, fire rate. Every 135 to 1.5 seconds, 20 damage. Let me make this smaller. You know what, never mind, fuck this. I'm not going to go into it right now. Cabbage Pult just has a worse fire rate. It's not what people think. People think Cabbage does twice as much damage, but has Pea Shooter has twice as fast fire rate. It is statistically, Pea Shooter has a better fire rate. It's ever so slightly different. Also, Cabbage's projectile is slower. And there's never any reason to use Cabbage over Pea Shooter, because like grid items are easily countered by, or at least in Ancient Egypt, because you're never going to use these plants after Ancient Egypt, they're countered by Gravebuster, just straight up Bloomerang. Bloomerang, I think it's just C tier. It's a very underwhelming plant. Cabbage is not that bad. I think Cabbage is that bad. Bloomerang, honestly, yeah, I think it's just C tier. Iceberg, easy S tier. Gravebuster. Gravebuster, for what it does, is a very good plant. I'm going to be ranking tool plants. It deserves A tier. I don't think it's S. I don't think it's B. I think it's just perfectly A. Iceberg lettuce is overrated. I agree, but it's still an S tier plant. I'll get to that later. Bonk Choy, I think, is also A tier. I'd put it like here. Repeater, I'd put B tier. Twin Sunflower, probably lower than Repeater. I think Twin Sunflower is the worst sun producer, because it's just not worth it for 125 sun. A lot of levels are really fast. There's just never any point in using the slowest recharge and the highest sun class sun producer over plants that pretty much produce the same amount of sun, like Sunshroom or Primal Sunflower. When the worst sun producer is only in B. Yeah, I'll get to that. Kernel Pult, So if you've been on this channel for a long time, I used to say, or I still say, I still stand by this. Colonel Pult is the worst plant in PvZ1. And I'm not going to go into that right now. Actually, I will go into that right now. Colonel Pult just was not worth it because it was the worst supporter. It was statistically the worst supporter because of how it's based off of RNG. And its damage output was just the worst in the game, so there's never any point of using it. Sure, it's good when spammed, but nah. I think Colonel Pult in PvZ2, though, because of the Sun meta being 50, and because of how its damage was buffed, I think it's B tier. Snapdragon easy S tier. Under Iceberg Lettuce, though, because, yeah. Anything is good when spammed. Exactly, that's the same argument I use, bro. Snapdragon is generally underwhelming besides its plant food. I disagree. Spikeweed, I think Spikeweed, there was one point during my 2-slot run where I was very high on Spikeweed, and I would go so far as to put it in S tier. I've kind of come to the realization that it's not that good without support. So I'd still put it in like A tier, bottom of A tier. Spring Bean. Spring Bean's a weird one because, well, it has more uses than Cabbage Bowl. I'll give it that. I think Spring Bean, nah, I'd put it low D. Actually, no, I'm not putting Pea Shooter and Spring Bean in the same tier. I think Spring Bean is D because it has at least one use. That being, that it can fuck up dodos. That's the only reason I'm putting it in D. It is not. Okay. It may be F tier, but I'm not putting it in the same tier as Pea Shooter. And or wait, no. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to put, okay, top of F tier. Coconut Cannon, I think, is also A tier, probably higher than Potato Mine. If you guys want me to explain my thoughts further, you guys can just like go into the comment section after the stream is done. Probably just be easier. I think Coconut Cannon's a pretty underrated plant, though. I don't think it's too expensive. I think Coconut Cannon is yeah. Coconut Speak is a reload time. I disagree. Then don't delete stream. I won't unless I make it a video. Unless I make this a video. 3 Peter. 3 Peter's a very weird plant. I used to love it a lot. But in Adventure, there really isn't ever any point in using it. In PvZ1 at least, it was good for the pool. In PvZ2, nah, I just don't care for it. It's either like low B or high C, because essentially it's just 3 Pea Shooters, and yeah, I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe I'll put it in top of C. There's no way 3 Peter is better than Pea Shooter. It's essentially the same thing. You'll just get more of you'll just get better damage output when you have a bunch of them. 3 Peter, I don't know. It's either, I'll put it C for now. Spike Rock, kind of the same as Spikeweed. It's just, yeah. Cherry Bomb is an easy S tier. I think that's, if you think it's anything lower than S tier, then I don't know what to tell you. Split Pea's also a weird plant because it's essentially just, I don't know. Because Split Pea's actually really good for stuff like Jurassic Marsh. I think Split Pea's also, well, it's essentially just a 125 sun repeater, but it's also very situational. So I'm considering it. I'm considering putting it like low C. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's very yeah. How the fuck is Cabbage different from Pea Shooter? Cabbage has a worse damage output. So, fuck cabbage. Hi, Ivan. Aban, Ivan. I'm gonna say Ivan. I've always said Ivan. NJ say hi back. Hi, Ivan. Chili bean. Chili bean, I feel. Chili bean is also one of those just kind of grossly underrated plants. Because what it is essentially a combination of Stunnion and Potato Mine. But I'm still gonna put it lower than Potato Mine because of how you need to eat it for it to activate. Are you ranking premiums? Read the chat. Or not read the chat. Read the pin message. Bro, if you ever want to use split pea, use celery stalker instead. Split pea is almost outclasses pea shooter. That you know what? That's pretty true. The fact that it needs to be eaten makes it a. My headset randomly died. I don't know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Chili bean. Yeah, it's still an insta-kill plant. I mean, Stunnion and Potato Mine are both good plants, but considering the fact it needs to be eaten, I'm not going to put it above Potato Mine. But I don't think it's B tier. Peapod is a very situational plant, but the situations it's good in, it's a very good plant. I just think there aren't many situations where it's good in, so I'm going to keep it at B. Here's a spicy one. Lightning Reed. Lightning Reed. Chat, what are your opinions on Lightning Reed? What do you guys think of Lightning Reed? Okay, so a very mixed plant. Y'all think it's a very, very mixed plant. I'm seeing a lot of A's. I'm seeing a lot of B's, but I'm also seeing a couple F's. Okay, y'all can stop spamming now, by the way. My personal opinion on Lightning Reed. Y'all are going to be kind of upset. Lightning Reed is kind of a shit plant. I recognize that it's good when spammed. However, it's the same logic as Starfruit in PvZ1. Lightning Reed is not good when not spammed. Okay, that doesn't make much sense. Let me rephrase that. Lightning Reed is pretty unusable unless spammed, but when spammed, it's a good plant. Thus, it averages out as C tier. However, there's also the point to be made that every plant is good when spammed. The reason I don't have Lightning Reed any higher is because there are just plants that do its job so much better. Snapdragon, if you have 6 Snapdragons, it does the same amount of damage as 15 Lightning Reeds. And it covers more lanes. Spikeweed's pretty good. It's a lot better than Lightning Reed in my opinion, even though it's a bit more of a support plant. Well, I mean, Lightning Reed is supposed to be a support, but I'd say Lightning Reed is especially good when spammed because it can hit way more lanes. But if you're spamming Lightning Reed, you have the sun to use other plants. Chain damage, bro. Yeah, okay. Chain damage is very, very overrated. Because the chain only hits to like 3 zombies at a time, maybe 6. There are some other plants, like this certain plant in S tier, that hits every zombie in an area, not just 3 to 6. You can't tell me that Chain Lightning is better than that. Spikeweed outclasses Lightning Reed at its own job, exactly. It's a better chicken counter. Can't kill Weasel, that's pretty true. Yeah, but spikeweed is better with chicken. Can we move on? Sure, I'll move on. Melon pult's one of those ones that is like, I don't really use it a lot, but I recognize that it's good. So I guess I'd have to put it in A tier. Same with Talnut. I don't know how to feel about Talnut. It's a very like, I've never used it. There's never any reason to use it. But it's still a good plant. Just at the point of where you get it, it's just not that great. But still okay. Guys, I did warn you that I'm not going to make sense with half the stuff I say. Yeah, I don't know if Talnut's worth it. Might move it down to B tier. Yeah, I'm gonna move it down to B tier. Wintermelon, that's hot potato. Wintermelon's a pretty easy S tier. I don't need to go into that. Hot potato. Hot potato. I don't like hot potato because of, I don't know. It's just kind of, you're never going to use it outside of frostbite caves. So it's one of those plants. It's just another tool plant. I don't really see much in it. For what it does, it's not horrible, but it could be a lot better. I think Altvers did hot potato the best, where it has no recharge but costs 50 sun. Hot potato can melt Octo at a certain level. Yes, but I'm not ranking plants when they are leveled. Pepper is easy F. I've already gone over this before. Chard Guard is easy S. That one should be fairly obvious. Stunyon. Stunyon's essentially the same thing as Iceberg. I think both. I'm going to put Stalia up there too. I'm going to go out of order. All three of these plants are very similar, and I'd rank them all in the same spot because they all serve different purposes. But they all are very, very good at it. And then Roto's an S tier plant. I mean, Roto is essentially just... Rotobaga is in the same boat as Reed, yes, but you see, Rotobaga has an actually good damage output. Absolutely cheeses Big Wave Beach and Jurassic Marsh. And it's purple. That point doesn't matter. I just like joking about it because purple's probably the best color. Aside from green, I'd put Rotobaga on S because of how broken it is when spammed. Compared to Lightning Reed, when it's spammed, it's still kind of mid. It's good, but not as great as other plants when spammed. I didn't mean to do that. Red Stinger is one of those plants. It's kind of a better repeater in ways, but it's also a worse repeater in other ways because of, I guess with Torchwood, there's just no point in using repeater. Or no, I don't know what I just said. I warned you that I'd ramble a lot and I'd not make sense. Red Stinger, I'd put it as a worse repeater because of how it just can't be spammed as effectively. Actually, no, I won't because adventure levels aren't that long. I think you wouldn't have the time to. Yeah, you wouldn't have the time to spam repeater more than Red Stinger at least. AKEE. I'd put it high B tier, I guess. AKEE equals Bloomerang. I loved AKEE when I was younger. I think though, I mean, I still love it, but it's just not a great plant. It's a Bloomerang, but better. Yes, Bloomerang has a worse damage output. I mean, AKEE does like 60 damage to a zombie. But there's still no point in using it over things that have better splash damage, like, every other splash damage plant. That isn't Pepperbolt. And Durian, when I was originally making what I wanted to do for this tier list, Why is Cabbage F? I wasn't here for part of that stream. It's essentially just a worse pea shooter damage output wise, and there's never any point in using it. And Durian, so I was going to put it in like B tier, into putting it in the A tier, because it's kind of in the same boat as Spikeweed, where it needs a support plant to be good. But I also kind of realized that Endurian itself is a support plant. It's not meant to be a high damaging, absolutely phenomenal plant. I love Endurian. It's very fun to use, but it's not that great. Aloe plus Endurian is good. I recognize that. I think it's, yeah, I'm going to group it with Spikeweed. It's kind of in the same boat. There's a difference between support and tank, exactly. Endurian is a really good concept, but they made it too weak and doesn't really work in Lost City. That's pretty true, but I think it's a good plant in other worlds. Goldleaf. Goldleaf is another plant that is kind of underrated. I think it's like bottom of A tier. Because if you think about it, it's a zero cost sun producer. It is a free sun producer. It is not F tier. It is not F tier, it is not D tier. I know that it's only in Lost City, but if you really think about it, it's the same logic as Time Warp. If you had it in other worlds, it would just be game-breakingly broken. It would be absolutely broken in other worlds. So if you think about it, it costs 50 sun, it produces 50 sun. On spot. Laserbeam. I don't like Laserbeam. I feel Laserbeam is very overrated. It's possibly the most overrated plant in the game. That's a very hot take I have. I think Laserbeam is just not all it's hyped up to be. I think it's worse than Lightning Reed. I mean, at least in the context of adventure, like I've been going over, I don't care about Arena, I don't care about Penny's Pursuit, and I'm not really paying attention to Endless. I see it's good in Endless, but it's not good in Adventure, because Adventure is very fast-paced, right? Very, very fast-paced. Not Lightning Reed. Laser Beam essentially just speeds up that pace. The reason I love manual plants so much is because of how much they control the tempo of the game and how much they can like stall out, give you enough sun you need to just beat everything else. Laser Beam kind of ruins your it really does kind of ruin your stalling because of how much it just speeds up the tempo. I just think it's a very overrated plant, and there are some plants that do its job, but are just so much better at it. I mean, like Snapdragon. Fume Shroom is another one of those plants that I'll get to later. Its infinite pierce is good against huge clumps of zombies. Yeah, but most levels in Adventure are very fast. You're never going to get to the point of having huge clumps of zombies unless you don't know what you're doing. So all it really does is just ruin your tempo, and it makes it way too fast. Blover, if you don't think about it, or that's not what I'm not making sense. Blover's a good plant, but I feel it's just kind of overrated based on because there are some people like GNVS who say it's the best plant in the game, and I can respect that, but it's really only based off of glitches with it, with Blover. I think it's a good plant, but it's not deserving of S tier. It's just kind of just really based on actually no, I might put it in the bottom of S tier. I don't think it's better than Coconut Cannon. We shouldn't include glitches in my opinion, yeah. Citron is another one of those plants I just don't care for. I think it's also C tier. Coconut can is just it, but better. Peach is a very weird plant because it serves one specific purpose. And while it's good at that purpose, you're never going to have a reason to use it over like iceberg lettuce or Stallia. I'd put it in maybe B tier or C tier. I'm thinking, or you have. I think Infinite is kind of also an overrated plant. Why is? I mean, I see Infinite is definitely a good plant, but it's not that useful without support like Chard Guard or something else that can kill a zombie before it's finished being eaten. Um, its plant food is good. It's very, very good. Oh my god. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe Infinite's A tier, but I just don't. If I put Infinite in A tier, then so is Tallnut. They all kind of serve the same purpose, and they're all good at what they do. Yeah. But I don't know. So magnifying grass. You already know why I love magnifying grass. I'm not going into it right now. Tile turnip, when considered in the context of adventure and you don't level, or when you don't level the plant, it's not that great, and there's never any reason to use it in adventure. It's good in arena, but this ain't arena. I'd guess I'd put it in like C tier. Sunshroom. Actually, I'm gonna put it with the Peach. Sunshroom is easily one of the best sun producers in the game. One of the best plants overall. Puffshroom is not the best, but deserves S tier because of just how easily it's spammable it is. Fume Shroom is just objectively a better laser beam because it does the same amount of damage as laser beam with a better fire rate and essentially just worse range, but for 75 less sun. It's not the most useful plant in the world, but considering that the range doesn't make it so that you lose within 12 seconds of the game starting, I guess I'd put it with Melon Pult. Hmm. Yeah, it is an amazing plant food. I agree with that. Maybe we'll put Fume Shroom up here. I'll put it with Bok Choy. Sunbeam, Sunbeam. I love Sunbeam. I think Sunbeam is also one of those very underrated plants. I say a lot about this. Hi, Deep. Sunbeam is, I mean, it can stack, and it gives you like 500 sun against a lot of zombies. It's supposed to be a support plant. It's not supposed to be your main, unless you're playing Dark Ages Night 14. So, I mean, if you put it in the context of how it's your only sun producer, then it doesn't really match up with any other sun producers. But in the context of it being a support plant, it's better than Gold Leaf. It can stack. Yes, it can stack. I didn't know that until like last week when I was watching Adwax's stream. Fume is Pea Shooter DPS. No, it's not. It's actually better. So yeah, it can stack. I think Sunbeam is just a good plant. If you watched my only pea shooter stream, you saw me using it a lot, especially in Big Wave Beach. It's very good with like levels where you don't have that much space, or you need like a high DPS to win it. Gives you like 20 sun. No, it doesn't. It actually gives you a lot of sun. If you use it on like anything stronger than like a breakdancer, which is like 250 health, then it gives you a lot of sun. Magnetrum is kind of an overrated plant because there are a lot of metal zombies in PvZ2, but there isn't enough to justify it having a slow recharge, or as slow of a recharge as it does. I mean, it's a good plant, but there's also just never any reason to use it over stalling plants or just higher DPS plants. It's kind of the same as Magnetrum in PvZ1. Magnet is obsolete once you unlock Shadow Shroom. That's also pretty true. Fat Bead, I don't care for Fat Bead. It kind of is also in C tier. I don't know if it's I'll put it here. Celery Stalker is an easy S tier. I'll put it over here. Time Warp is another one of those plants. Same story as Gold Leaf, where if it was in every world, then it would be the most broken plant in the game. But I'm going to keep it at A tier. Garlic. Good contender for worst plant in the game. It's kind of good with certain other plants, but I just, nah. It's kind of just a no thank you, Chief. I don't know if it's, yeah, I think garlic is worse. Spore Shroom, I'm going to come back to because I really don't know what to say on it. Intensive Carrot is a very situational plant. It's just not worth using, though. What is it, 100 sun and a slow recharge? There's never any point where you're going to use it. Because if you think about, like, you're going to use it on, like, a Wintermelon or something, if a Wintermelon dies, one, you suck at the game. How did you lose a Wintermelon? It should be in the back of the lawn. How did you lose one? And two, if you have the sun for a Wintermelon, then you have the sun to plant another one. So there's just never any point where it's going to be useful. I liked Modern Day 25, and it could be good in conveyor belt levels, but it's only in one conveyor. So I'd put it in, I'll put it in D. I guess I'm just going to put Spore Shroom in B. I don't really have much to say on the plant. Actually, no. I'm just going to... We'll come back to later when I have... Or no, I'm just going to come back to it later. Where did I just put it? I put it here. Yeah, I just haven't used Spore Shroom that much. Primal Pea Shooter is an easy A tier plant. I think... I kind of want to put it in S tier. Because it's just a really good plant. But... I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll keep it A because it's the knockback's kind of inconsistent. Primal Walnut is also a pretty easy S tier. Perfume Shroom is not a good plant. There's no... do I want to put it in F or do I want to put it in D? It can be useful, but there's never any point in using it. It's kind of the same as Imitator. Not Imitator. Intensive Carrot. Primal Sunflower. It's the same as, well, these two plants, Suntrum and Primal Sunflower, are very interchangeable. Excuse me. Primal Sunflower is a lot better for shorter levels, but Suntrum is better for longer levels. Both of them are just very, very good plants in general. So I wouldn't put one over the other. It's just, what situation is it in? Is this muted? I want to know if this has been, yeah, it looks muted. Primal Potato Mine is better than Magnifying Grass. I'm not sorry. Lily Pad, for what Lily Pad does, it's a very good plant. It's kind of the same as Gravebuster, where it's only really useful in a single world. But in that world, it's a very good plant. Why are Spike Rock and Spikeweed in the same tier? They're kind of the same. No, I'm going to put... Tangle Kelp is a very underrated plant. I think it's kind of a worse potato mine, but it's also very good for a lot of threats in Big Wave Beach. I think in the context of just Big Wave Beach, it's a good plant. Probably better than Potato Mine. Let's see. I didn't realize there were 322 people watching. Hi, guys. Let's see. What do I have to add here? Bowling bulb. Bowling bulb. Bowling bulb. Chat, what are your opinions on bowling bulb? Hi, Spongy. I didn't expect so many like people disliking it. And I have to agree. Bowling bulb is one of the worst plants in the game. It is. People try to justify bowling bulb by saying it's a good plant when it's leveled. If it's only a good plant when it's leveled, it is quite simply not a good plant. I don't know why people don't understand that. Bowling bulb. Also, I don't care about Arena. Every plant is amazing when leveled. What's your plant? What's your point? Yeah, I agree. I agree. But it's just better when leveled. Bowling bulb is the textbook definition of missed potential. Exactly. I mean, people literally say that it was fixed with leveling, but if it was fixed with leveling, then it was bad before. Guacodile is a very underrated plant. I think it's also A tier. I really do love Guacodile, but I don't think it's. Actually no, I think kind of. Yeah. And then Banana Launcher is just a better coconut cannon. You know, I'd go so far as to say that Banana Launcher is actually better than Cob Cannon from PvZ1. It's a weird hot take I have there, but I do think if Cob Cannon was in PvZ2, at least have with the same stats from in PvZ1, then it just wouldn't. Banana Launcher would be better. Moonflower, that's Holly Barrier. I don't care about you. Moonflower is, I'd say, in the same boat as Suntrum and Primal Sunflower. Uh, Name escapes me. Nightshade. Nightshade. Nightshade is an interesting plant. I hope you guys don't hear like the lawnmower outside or the yeah. I think Nightshade is a good plant, but there's never really any reason to use it over better plants. Would I put it here? I'd put it here. Let's see. Shadow Shroom is a very good plant. It's kind of in the same boat with these. These are all like interchangeable, which is why I'm grouping them all up. I think Shadow Shroom though, since it doesn't have the area damage unless it's powered, then I'll put it over Potato Mine anyway because Shadow Shroom does have the best plant food in the game easily. Continuously cutting out. I don't know why it does that, but we're back. Um, Dusklover is also very easily S'd here. Although it's kind of crap when not powered, but there's no reason for you to not use it without Moonflower. I'd put it below All Winter Melon. Methinks Grimrose is such a weird plant. I don't really care for it. If you guys saw Adwex beating Dr. Zomboss, but you choose the slots, like as if it's just a normal level with Dr. Zomboss, then Grimrose was actually pretty overpowered. But I feel otherwise, it's kind of in the same boat as Laserbeam, where it just kind of fucks over your tempo and makes the game a lot faster. It's like a worse Tangle Kelp, really. Um, so when I'm ranking Snow-Pea, I think it's kind of in the context of before it was buffed. I'd put Snow-Pea in probably A tier, actually. Put it here. I think Snow-Pea's a good plant. I'm not going to talk about it when it was buffed recently. I don't really. Since I don't play that version, I put that in the pinned message. I'm not going to do Power Lily since I really haven't used it. Jalapeno is a very situational plant. I do love jalapeno. And it's kind of like a guacadile, but jalapeno and Snow-Pea were my favorite plants when I was younger. But I just don't see jalapeno being that useful in PvZ2. I'll put it here because it's pretty situational. I know it's an insta-kill, but when are you going to use it over Cherry Bomb or Potato Mine or Primal Potato Mine or really anything else that's an insta-kill plant? I think it deserves the mid-A. Let's do a plant I actually care about. Sapling. What are your opinions on Sapling? Chat, what are your opinions on Sapling? I disagree with all of you. Sapling is an easy A tier plant. Maybe. Do I want to put it S tier? I think one, it would be funny if I put it in S tier. And two, it is essentially just a permanent Stalia. And Stalia is already an S tier plant. Sapling is a permanent Stalia for 75 sun. It makes plants like Endurian and Spikeweed S tier. So it's kind of in the same sense as Moonflower. It is as it is the enabler. Also, it's very useful for like magnifying grass and other manual plants and higher cost plants. I love how polarizing people rank sap. True. I feel like deciding factor doesn't deal damage. The fact that it doesn't deal damage makes it better. It is a staller. It is a stalling plant. It is not supposed to do damage. It is not supposed to be a snow pea. It is, by every mean, just a stalling plant. Thus, for its job, for what it does, sapling is a cracked plant. I am talking myself into putting it into S tier. I originally had it in A tier, but I'm talking myself into putting it in S tier. You can disagree with me all you want on this plant. Sapling is, in every way, an amazing staller plant. It's also I don't know, because Wintermelon 2 kind of outclasses it. It's kind of both. What else have I used? I think what have I used? I've used Dandelion a bit. I do like Dandelion. I think Dandelion's a very intriguing plant. I love what it does with Blover, but I feel like it's kind of like Citron, where the projectiles being really slow kind of make it just okay. Maybe A tier. I'm putting everything in A and S because that's just how good the plants are in PvZ2. Actually, do I want to put it in A? Yeah, I'll put it in A. I feel like it's also good with a sapling. I love sapling. Parsnip is just a better Guacodile. I think Parsnip's probably around here. Has one of the best damage outputs in the entire game. And it's just a better Guacodile. And Guacodile's already an A tier plant. No, is it better than the Stallers? I don't think it's better than the... I think it's better than Primal Walnut. I don't think it's better than the Stallers. What have I used? I'm going to rank Starfruit because of how I ranked Rhodobaga. Starfruit is just a worse Rhodobaga. I think Star is probably only A tier. Yeah. Peanut. Actually, I'll rank Homing Thistle. I think Homing Thistle is a very mid plant. Because, well, I've been very high on Homing Thistle. I've defended it a lot with how it's not cattail. And how it's better on land than anything else. But I feel like its damage output, over time, I've kind of realized that its damage output it just isn't the best compared to a lot of other plants. The homing aspect of it is cool, but it's never really useful. And in sometimes is actually more of a loss than anything. So I think homing maybe is B tier. Top of B tier. Let's see. Hurricane. I love Hurricane. I think same as these plants, honestly. Fire Pea is kind of just I wouldn't say it's a better repeater. Should probably rank this guy. Sports Room I'm just going to put in B tier because I don't really care. Actually, no, I'm going to keep it here. No opinion. Fire Piece kind of overrated, but it's also kind of underrated at the same time. More than I think about Homing Thistle, I think it might actually be worse than Peapod too. Fire Piece just kind of... I'll keep it below Repeater because of how Repeater is just better with Torchwood. I gotta keep track of the time because I gotta go soon. So be prepared for me like leaving at some point. I think Fire Piece is just so much better than Pepperpult though. Chomper. Chomper is an insta-kill plant. Fast recharge, but since it's 150 sun, it's a lot better than in PvZ1. In PvZ1, I'd say Chomper's like high B tier, top of B tier. In PvZ2, because of the recharge, or not the recharge, like the sun meta, maybe it's bottom of A. Actually, I don't think it's that useful, though. We'll leave it here. Toadstool's just a better Chomper with range. I love Toadstool so much. Funny Frog Gaming, guys. I think Toadstool gets its own Funny Frog Gaming tier. Actually, no, it doesn't. I'll put it here. No. I think it's better than, no, I don't. Put Funny Frog Gaming around there. Chomper has a slow reaction. That's actually pretty true, though. I kind of forgot about that. Chomper has kind of a shit reaction speed. Because in PvZ1 at the very least, it ate really fast. Chomper, or like, bites really fast. I don't know if Chomper's that great in comparison. Maybe above Spikeweed. No, I'm going to keep it there. Lower than Sunbeam. What else do I want to rank? I think Jack-o'-lantern's a very interesting plant. I love its damage output. It actually has the second best damage output in the game. Just behind Magnifying Grass and just in front of Celery Stalker. But are there many times when it's really actually that useful? Also, the way you fire it's kind of not my favorite. I think it's still S tier because of the damage output alone. But I don't really care for how it fires. I think it's still a good plant, regardless, actually. Rank Squash, I haven't used Squash that much. Kind of a mid Potato Mine. I'll put Squash below Potato Mine. Put around here. Actually, no, it's kind of better than Potato Mine, but it's also kind of not. I'll put it there. What else have I used to some extent? Solar Tomato. I think Solar Tomato is actually kind of Solar Tomato is kind of a hidden gem. Because it's Sunbeam, in a way, as a support plant. But kind of better. I think Solar Tomato, as ugly as it is, deserves a lot more love. Because it's a stalling plant. Produces a bunch of sun. And actually, I don't know if Solar Tomato is that good. How much does Solar Tomato cost? No, that's not 100 sun. So it's really only profitable if there's a bunch of zombies in an area. Hi Noah, I hate Plantern. Okay, Noah. Thanks, Noah. So it costs 100 sun. It's really good in groups of zombies, but 660, when am I going to be able to join the channel? As in what way? I don't really feel like monetizing this channel. I think Solar Tomato. I'd put it around the same as Sunbeam. Can you rank Ghost Pepper? I'll rank Ghost Pepper. I've used Ghost Pepper a bit. I think it's a very fun plant. Yeah, I guess I'd put it around here. Do I want to? Do I really want to put Ghost Pepper? Yeah, I will. Is this based on... Okay. Yeah. What I was essentially saying is that Pumpkin, considering the fact that you get it in Arena, and considering the fact the spam in Arena, and how many insta-kill zombies there are, it's just not... I don't know if it's worth it. I'm not going to rank... Actually, I'm not going to rank these plants because of how I've never used them in Adventure. Gold Bloom. I got Gold Bloom back when it was still an Epic Quest plant on my original save file. And obviously it's a very cracked plant. Put it above Moonflower. I gotta go in a few minutes just to let you know. Because I have driver's ed. Here's the bottom for you. Here's the top. And then, is there anything else I want to rank? Because I haven't really used many other of these plants. Actually, I'm going to make a tier where I'm just going to say... No, I'm not going to do that. I really haven't used Torchwood, though. I haven't used Torchwood enough, so I'm not going to rank it. E-Berry? I've used E-Berry. I think it's a good plant, but it's too RNG based to be really that good. Obviously, it is an insta-kill for Gargantuars and everything, but it's also very RNG based, so I don't really know if it's worth it. Like, most of the time, it doesn't even hit Gargantuars. And the slow recharge, although understandable, just doesn't make it that great. So I'd put it in B. Torchwood plant food plus repeater plant food probably does the most damage in the game. I wouldn't be surprised, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Magnifying Grass did better. If eBerry had a priority targeting feature that Dartichoke had, it would be way better. I agree. I think eBerry would easily be an S tier plan if it was like that. But I think it's just B otherwise. Yeah, I haven't really used any of these other plants. I'm gonna put Imitator no opinion too, because it's really, it kind of just depends. Actually, no, I won't rank it at all. Since considering the fact that I don't really know what to say for the rest of these, like I have opinions on some of these. Like I think sweet potato is a good plant. I think strawberry is a good plant. I think lava guava is a good plant. But I haven't really used any of these enough to like give a good opinion on them. So I'm just gonna end it here. This is my tier list on PvZ2. This is what I think. And I am going to end the stream here. I'm now going to go post these in a bunch of Discord servers. See how many people I piss off. I'm going to save this as a awesome tier list. Objectively correct. Tier list. Will this tier list be edited and re-uploaded, or will the entire thing be uploaded to the channel? I'm going to just keep it as like an uploaded stream for now, but I might as well edit it at some point. Can you do a part 2? I see no reason to do a part 2. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. So I was going to do the randomizer today, but it just wasn't ready yet. Next stream, I guarantee will be. I promise will be randomizer. And for now, I'm gonna head out. Goodbye.